Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here today. It's the 1st of July 2023. Quick favour to ask as usual, please, and that's if you would subscribe to the channel. That'd be excellent, big help and appreciated. So please do click the button if you could, or would, or will. A little bit unusual today, a book review. Yes, I've read a book. Remember them, books, good old fashioned books. The background to it is that it's by a guy called Dave Russell, who was the vocalist for a band called April 16th. Now they were around like mid 80s to I think about 1991, and whether you'd call them new wave of British heavy metal or whether you'd call them straight, just straight up good old fashioned, honest to goodness hard rock / metal, take your pick. But either way, they were excellent. And this book, The Ghosts of April, The Life and Times of the Ugliest Man in Rock, oh dear me, it really is an entertaining read, and you'll find out how Dave got that tag if you read it. And so it's about his adventures before he got to the band, and how the band chased the rock star dream afterwards, but it almost kind of just remained that little bit out of reach for him. About 18 months or so ago, one of the band's guitarists, Chris Harris, sent me a copy of their Epitaph CD. And at the time, he mentioned that Dave was working on a book about the band's adventures, and that Chris would send me a copy when it was available. And top man and true to word that he is, he sent it to me. And what a read it is! What a job Dave's done on it! An excellent read, whether you're an old rock fan like me, and perhaps you, who remembers these times and was around in them, or whether you're just like a really entertaining read. This book's for you. It encompasses how Dave came to join the band, and then what he and them got up to whilst hoping to break out from the South London gigging scene into full-blown international mega rock star superstardom. Of course, Dave's got an excellent writing style. It's to the point, descriptive, and his sense of humour is very wry and dry, which that's right up my street anyway. And that humour shines through on every page. Read the book; it'll make you laugh, and it'll make you a little bit sad at times as well, as they and the band battle through various setbacks, yet keep plugging away until ultimately realising that rock star dream isn't going to quite come true for them. And even so, if you're of a certain age, like I am, and remember the days when if you went for a beer in the pub in an evening, this was at the time when pubs were a lot different than they are now. And back then, catering in a pub consisted of a bloke coming round before last orders, because this was in the times when pubs chucked you out at 10:30 at night, and a bloke had come round carrying a wicker basket full of various shellfish related products, cockles, whelks, crab sticks, personal favourite there. And that would be usually closely followed by the Salvation Army coming round selling the war cry, if you remember that as well. That's what pubs were back then. If you remember all that, you'll be right at home reading this book. I miss those days, but that's another story. Dave would audition for April 16th and be successful. And then the book looks at what happened next. Did lots of hard work, hard rehearsals, and not a little beer drinking as well. So the band gig around, build a local reputation. They cut an album which was called Sleepwalking. They even made it onto the Friday Rock Show, if anyone remembers the Friday Rock Show. Tommy Vance, TV on the radio and all that. Getting all nostalgic now. And they even got a bit of TV exposure as well. But despite all that hard work, the breakthrough had never come for them. But the book, read the book, and you'll enjoy Dave's tales of how, whilst they did never quite make it, it wasn't for a lack of trying, and some of the adventures that they had along the way there. Excuse me, my voice is a little bit croaky today. Some quick examples of what you will read about is how poor old Dave got that ugliest man in rock tag, how the band acquired a tour bus of sorts, how they'd hire National Express coaches to take fans to gigs in a venue that they played reasonably regularly in Cardiff, and tootling along the M4 there and back, and even how they became an international band playing in France, and how that journey there and back as well, which was an adventure in itself. But there's many more tales as Dave regales us with his recollections of what happened back then. And perhaps the most telling one is and the biggest Spinal Tap moment is the backdrop that they had, how that came into being, and an unfortunate unfurling of it the first time it was used in concert at gig. And the unfortunate Nigel Tufnell's ability, or rather inability, to distinguish between feet and inches for the Stonehenge model, that pales into significance by comparison with April 16th's backdrop. That's the book. Anyway, musically, April 16th did have plenty to offer. You might have difficulty finding Sleepwalking, and I've tried and I can't find it anywhere, but you can listen to it on YouTube. And the Epitaph CD that Chris sent me about 18 months or so ago, that's got the original masters of the album and a session on it as well. That's not exactly readily available, but I believe, Chris will tell me if I'm wrong, that you might be able to get it either through the band's website or through their Facebook page. I'll put links to both in the description below. The book itself is available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle formats, so I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. And whether you're an old rock fan like me who's still stuck in the 1970s and 1980s and remember a lot of stuff that Dave describes around what life was like back then, or you just like a good entertaining read, pick up a copy, read it and enjoy it. It's recommended stuff. So we'll leave it there. Dear, my voice is bad today. So that's Dave Russell, The Ghosts of April, and April the 16th is the band. Do check it out. So links to the band's website, Facebook, and the book itself underneath. So do that. Please subscribe to the channel before you go, that'd be marvellous. And before my voice gives out for today, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.